Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to class. Last class, we were working with quadratics. We were working on them, on breaking them down into two numbers that were the same number. Okay, in order to make them square, because we're doing complete the square in this case. Okay. So let's start off by writing a problem. Okay. The problem for today is x squared minus 8x plus 16 equals. Notice that this problem you guys did on your examples, on the example we did last class. It was 8x squared minus 8x plus 16 equals 0. Remember? Today we're actually going to see the whole problem completed. This is 25. Okay. Last class I put a 0 in there just so you guys can see how to get down into a square. Today we're actually going to have the actual problem and we're going to solve it. Okay. If you guys remember last class, we were looking for two numbers that gave us 16. But also, when you multiply, it gives you 16. But also, when you add them, it gives you negative 8. It has to be the same number. Okay. If you guys remember from last class, we had a negative 4 and a negative 4. Because negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. But also negative 4 times negative 4. Let me write them down a little bigger so you guys can see them. So we have negative 4, negative 4. But also, when you multiply them, it equals 16. But also, when you do negative 4 plus negative 4 equals negative 8, which is the number in the middle, negative 8. We went as far as to leave it in square form. If you guys remember, we had x minus 4 squared equals 0. But this time we're actually going to put the number, which is 25. Okay? That's as far as we got last class. Today we're actually going to solve for this problem. Okay? The way you solve for problems like this, let me get another color here, is when you're dealing with the square. Okay? The way we get rid of the 2 there is the opposite of a square is actually a radical. Okay? A radical and a radical. This is whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. The radical and the square cancel out. We're left with x minus 4 equals radical of 25. Okay? Once we have the radical of 25, notice that when something like this happens, 25 has its perfect square root. Okay? The way it happens is 5 times 5 gives you 25. Okay? So it's this perfect square root. But also, negative 5 times negative 5 gives you 25. Okay? So that's our dilemma here. We have a positive and a negative. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down that equation into two problems. Okay? We're going to have x minus 4 equals 5 and x minus 4 equals negative. The reason why, again, because 25 can be written as two ways. Okay? 5 squared or negative 5 squared. They both give you 25. We're going to solve for x on the first one. We add 4. Whatever you do to one side, remember you have to do to the other. Add 4. The 4's cancel out, so x equals 9. Again here, we add 4. Again, we add 4. x equals, remember, the bigger one is negative, so your answer has to be negative, right? So we have negative 1. So your final answers for x are 9 and negative 1. And that's it. We found for x. We solved for x, okay? If you wanted to check, make sure if they both work 100%, you can go ahead and plug it in. We're not going to get that far today, okay? All you have to do today is solve for x, which we did. We found x equals 9, x equals negative 1, okay? Make sure you write it down on your notes. Let me tilt the computer here a little so you guys can see the number on the bottom. It's a 1. It's a negative 1, okay? Make sure you write everything down on your notes. I'm going to step aside here so you guys can write down the notes. Alright, so I'm assuming now everybody has all the notes. I can go ahead and erase them. Let's pick black. Alright. Here is your assignment for today, okay? I'm going to give you 2 problems. You have to break them down into 2 numbers that are the same to make it a square, but you also have to solve for x, okay? So you have to make it all the steps now. Alright, here's your assignment. You have x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 36. Okay, remember you have to break it down into 2 numbers, give you the same number. Once you have the square, you have to solve, make it one positive, one negative. Solve for x's. Okay, there's one more. Let's do one more. The next one is x squared minus, not 3. Let's go with 6x plus 9 equals 4. Okay? Those are your 2 problems. Make sure you write them down. Make sure you submit your answers as soon as you're done watching the video. Okay? Make sure you submit also a picture of your notes. This way I know you're writing everything down. Okay? And I'll be waiting for your email.